let's begin. Hi there, welcome back to Yoga University. This week we are diving into the teachings of the Yoga Sutras and also just some of these older philosophies that yoga is based on. So before we go into what they call the 8 limbs of yoga, which include all of the stuff we've been doing like pranayama, breath work, the asanas, the physical poses, meditation, this circle of concepts and actual physical techniques that bring us back to really the true connection to ourself. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the oldest scripts in yoga, but this is a story that goes back years and years, and it revolves around this hero's journey about going through all of these things to find yourself right back at the place that you started, but with all of this knowledge that you never had before. If you think of Dorothy clicking her heels together, or even the story of Star Wars, which was taken from one of Joseph Campbell's books, which was taken from Sanskrit teachings, maybe even in the Bhagavad Gita. So it all really revolves back to this same story of taking this path, whether it be long or short or hilly or with rough terrain, and finding all these things to arrive back to yourself. And that is really the journey of yoga, not to sound kind of corny, but it really is about finding in your own practice and your own self not those things that make you smaller, but the things that build you up to your full potential. So thinking about that as we go forward. Am I doing this? When I do this pose in this way, it might hurt my shoulder, so is that really helping me? No, so can I find a way to do it that doesn't make me feel smaller, but actually makes me feel bigger? And sometimes that's going against the stream of what everybody else is doing. It's a great lesson that so many people have talked about. Even one of Brene Brown's new books, Braving the Wilderness, she talks about this sense of belonging to something, but the courage to stand alone. And how we have a deeper sense of belonging when we move through those tough things where we might have to stand alone and figure out what it is that we stand for. So all of that being said, today we're going to combine this Dharma and our meditation and do it in the same day. And you can repeat this meditation throughout the week on other days. I'm going to be posting, not every day anymore, but combining some of the elements so it's easier to watch. So taking a moment for yourself, taking a moment to sit in that space of maybe discomfort, to find your way back home, wherever or whatever that is for you. And that's the thing. Nobody can really help you with that. That has to come from this really deep knowledge of sometimes just being still and breathing, which is what we're going to do. So take a seat. You can just sit like me on your couch. You can sit up on a pillow on the ground. You can sit in a chair with your feet down if this cross-legged position isn't comfortable. Again, the idea being that it has to work for you. It has to make you feel like you can find something, like you can move forward, or else you're just doing it to move through the motions, which we do so often. If you pay attention and catch yourself when you're doing that, it's crazy how often, because we have to work on a schedule sometimes, and we have to have these routines that might not have as much pockets of meaning throughout the course of the day that we would like. So we're going to get some of that back by breathing together and breathing alone. So take your seat, sit up tall, let the back of the neck get nice and long. And just go ahead for me and take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, let it go. Let the shoulders drop down. Let the back of the neck get nice and long. Again, deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Deep inhale through the mouth. Let it go. One more round. Inhale, deep breath in, fill all the way up to the top, your full capacity. We're looking for our fullest life, the fullest capacity that we can live to. Fill all the way up. And then exhale, let it go. Keep the eyes closed. You might start to shift over into that breath in and out of the nose. But if you're closing the lips, keep the jaw soft. Let the teeth separate inside the mouth. Maybe if you're breathing in and out of the nose, starting to find a little hum or soft sound in the back of the throat. Feeling that space peel open in the back of the throat, like your throat is this wide open cavern and the breath can just fall back down, rinsing out your vocal cords and folds. Starting to take any tension away from the jaw, the voice box of maybe words left unsaid. And then let your breath and that oxygen travel down through the neck and start to fill up the collarbones and the shoulder blades. And so we're finding length to soften. We're softening to find more space, more length, more strength. So it's this fine line of being overly rigid and trying to reach and stack your bones into perfect alignment, to being super lax with no support at all. Finding a middle ground where you feel supported. And so as you continue to breathe here through the nose, begin to observe the inhales. Notice the beginning and the ends of the inhales. If they're smooth or if they're kind of ragged, without the intention to change anything. And then begin to notice your exhales, and the beginnings and the ends, if they're consistent throughout the entire exhale, or if they taper off in the end or the beginning. And then begin to notice how the breath, the inhale and the exhales, flow into one another. come back to that support of the seat underneath you, whether it be the ground or something you're sitting up on. And even if you don't feel supported right now in your life, finding that support from within. So chances are any question that you're seeking an answer to, you might already have that answer within. Just a matter of kind of sorting through the bullshit, sorting through the tension in the physical body, or the habitual maybe thought patterns in the mind of whatever might be obstructing you or making you feel smaller than you are. Take a moment and just let the torso lean back a little, finding more length, more balance. Come back to your breath. And you might begin to notice where that breath is moving to in the body, in the belly, maybe into the ribs or the shoulder blades. If your mind is drifting off, again, just check in. Are those thoughts leading you closer to that full potential? Or are they making you more confused, more inefficient in your breathing, in your work, etc., etc.? So chances are there's room to grow for all of us. That is the hero's journey. And whenever you're ready here, we're just gonna start to pull ourselves back to our breath. Just let yourself notice how that feels, if that was challenging, difficult, if you were able to soften into it, if you were able to find something new. And we'll slowly start to blink the eyes open. So my challenge to you this week is to drop in a little deeper. Be that support system you need for yourself, and start to move more fully embracing that hero's journey, every up and down. And for me, it's helpful to find other examples of stories of, film or books or inspirational quotes, or the world is filled with people that have been rather successful at living a good and happy life in spite of, and sometimes because of, huge amounts of adversity. So all those little hiccups really just build your character. Don't let yourself be small. Get wider into whatever it is that you're moving through. On that note, I will see you on Wednesday because we're switching it up this week. And Wednesday we'll have a nice asana practice, a physical practice that embodies this feeling grounded from the root up in our hero's journey. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time on Yoga University. This is Sarah. Namaste. Namaste.